Have you ever watched a how to draw video that goes something like this? Today we're learning to draw part of an English castle. So draw a nice straight line down here. Draw a line across here like this. And now draw a longer line at the bottom.
With two lines. Go about this far up and draw a line like this.
Connect those lines now, do an angled line here and draw the line right down to the bottom. Now, divide this like this and now do another angled line at this angle. Draw this line straight down and now do a sloping line there. Go to about a bit less than halfway and draw a sloping two lines onto that.
And now I have an identical drawing of part of an English castle to the one in my how to draw video. I'm feeling pretty good. I have a nice drawing. Time for me to now put into practice these skills I've learned and draw something else. Let me see. Where's a photo? Here's a good photo to use. It's another stone building, so that's good. An old church somewhere. Let me draw this. So just get rid of that. Should I start with this line on the edge or this line? Or maybe I should start on this closer bit. Oh, that's kind of an angle. Maybe I should start with the door because that's sort of in the middle, but there's these bits in front. All the lines slope in. Do I have to make them slope in on my drawing? Looks a bit funny. I'm not sure where to start. How do I make sure when I start something that I get the lines? How do I know how far? Where should I start on my paper? I don't know where to start. I don't know how to start. I don't think I know what to do. But I just did this great drawing. How can I not know what to do? So why does this happen? I've watched a how to draw video. I followed along step by step. I must have understood it because my drawing looks just like the instructors. Now I go to do a drawing myself and I don't even know where to start, let alone what to do. And if I do end up trying to draw something, it looks nowhere near as good as the step-by-step drawing where I followed along. I must just not have the talent that you need to draw. So what's the problem? The good news is the problem's not you. And look, it's probably not even the how to draw step-by-step video either. But let's have another look at our video and see just what is the problem. Here's our step-by-step drawing teaching video. The question we need to ask though is, what is it teaching us to do? What's required of us? What do we learn? Well, it teaches us firstly to observe what the instructor's doing. It teaches us to pay attention to the line work and to observe it. And then it teaches us to reproduce those lines in the same places that the instructor is placing them. And if we do that step by step, over the course of the video, we build up a drawing that looks, hopefully, a lot like the drawing that the instructor has drawn. And if it's a good-looking drawing in the video, there's every chance we have a good-looking drawing in front of us, as we've copied the line work step by step in the same order as the instructor. Now, copying line work is a skill, and it does require and develop some technical drawing ability, especially if we want to do it well. But is learning to copy someone else's drawing step by step and producing a copy of their drawing at the end, is that what you want to learn to do? Is that why you're watching how to draw videos? Are you wanting to become very good at copying? Is that the end point you want to be at? Or are you wanting to develop your ability to draw an original drawing, to see a street scene, a building in front of you, or in a reference photo, and to create an original drawing that no one has ever drawn before? Even develop your own style in doing these original drawings so that they're recognizable as yours. Because if that's what I want to do, if what I want to do is to be able to draw my own original drawings, then watching and copying a step-by-step, draw this line, now draw this line, now draw this line here, video is not going to give me the skills I need to create an original drawing. They won't have told us anything about composition, about whether when we see a scene, is it a good scene to draw? What are the elements that will work together in a finished drawing? Do we have to draw the reference as it is? Or can we crop our reference and create a very different feeling of the same scene? When we're copying line by line, we don't get taught where to start or why we should start in a certain place, how we should start. It's not that there's a place to start, but rather a range of issues to consider, none of which we learn put in the line where our instructor tells us to put it. In a large and complex subject, how do we keep our proportions correct? How do we progress our drawing from our starting point in a way that will give us, if you like, the best chance of keeping everything in the right proportion so that the overall structure looks the same as our reference? If I'm drawing from a reference photo, how do I know where to stop my lines so that I don't put them where I'm not going to want a line, particularly if I'm drawing directly in ink and so I can't erase anything? I don't need to work this out following a step-by-step video because the video tells me where to stop the line. How do I draw these leaves on paper when I can't possibly draw them all? How do I change this into something perhaps such as this? I'd like to draw this, but how do I draw all these stones? Do I have to draw every one? I look at this and it's different to the step-by-step video I watched. I did a step-by-step video and there was some hatching for shadows, but look at these shadows. This is a great building. I really want to draw it, but I don't know how I draw all those shadows. Where do I put the hatching lines? I mean, where do I start them? Where do I finish? Is there a quicker way to do it? What direction should they go in? I'd love to draw this scene, but a really important part seems to be how everything goes right back into the distance. How can I draw this so that I get a sense of distance? How do I show depth with my line work? So again, if these are the skills I need to create an original drawing, have I learnt any of these in a follow along step-by-step drawing video? And of course, really, the one thing I've had experience of is following the line work after someone else and learning to create a copy of someone else's drawing. But these really are technical skills rather than creative skills. And technical skills are important and they certainly have a place if I want to learn to draw. But that still doesn't make them creative skills. And it's the creative skills I need to address all of those issues we looked at as being possibly necessary in how do I create an original drawing. In fact, this creative thinking, these creative processes, in many cases need to happen before I put pen to paper at all. They have to come first because these creative processes are the most vital part of the drawing process. It's this creative thinking which will guide me as to what lines to put, where to put the lines, when to put the lines, how to put the lines, and to know when to stop putting lines. And just as a side point, the choices that I make that come from these creative processes and the choices that I make from them is largely what will determine not just what my drawing looks like, but also my own particular unique drawing style, which also means I can't develop my own drawing style when I'm copying someone else's drawing style step by step. I like to think of the drawing process this way. When I see a scene, either in real life or in a reference photo, then what I have to do is to translate the scene from one form to another. And it's a bit like translating in a language. If it's in front of me, it's 3D into 2D. But even if it's a reference photo, there is still a detail and forms of visual content that I can't directly imitate with a pen, that I need to represent in some way, either because I can't possibly draw all the leaves on the tree or all the bricks in a wall, or because I can't represent colour using a black pen. So there are ways I have to decide to represent these things. These are the sorts of creative choices I need to make. That translation process, bit by bit of different parts of the scene I'm drawing, is how my drawing happens. It's what creates not just the drawing, but also my drawing style. Because different artists make different choices how they will represent the same thing. And that's why our styles end up looking different. And none of the skills that flow from them are even taught, let alone developed in a step-by-step copy me while I draw this instruction drawing video. And that's why after watching one of those videos, when I go to do my own drawing, I often don't know where to start. And if I do, I'm often very disappointed that it doesn't seem to be anywhere near the same standard as my step-by-step video drawing. It's not my fault, it's not the video's fault, it's not teaching me what I want to learn. And I don't know what I even don't know that I don't know, and so I'm not aware of the shortcomings of the video for where I'm wanting to go with my drawing, which is to be able to draw original drawings, and therefore I blame myself. But the good news is these creative skills, these creative thought processes that we need to engage with before we start to draw can be learnt, they can be taught, and they can be developed. So make sure the videos you watch to learn to draw are actually teaching you the skills for the things that you're wanting to learn. This video isn't meant to be an ad for my channel, but in all my videos I do try and teach the creative thought processes needed to start, progress, and finish a drawing that we could each be proud of. My videos won't necessarily give you a finished drawing at the end, but they will show you a process or part of a process which can give direction to your own creativity and your own creative thought processes in solving all of these issues that we face if we want to represent or translate, if you like, a scene in front of us onto paper using line. So don't just watch how to draw videos, find the ones that will actually take you to the end point in your learning that you want to get to. All the best.